Want to speak English fluently and with confidence? You are in the right place. Learning through stories makes speaking fun and easy. Listen carefully and repeat every word out loud. Feel free to adjust the playback speed to match your comfort. Get ready, it is story time. Let us dive into today's story. Bitterness. Once upon a time, a young man went to his wise teacher for advice. His heart was full of pain, anger, and sadness that he could not explain. He said, "Master, why do people hurt me even when I do good for them?" The teacher looked at him kindly and asked him to bring some salt. The young man went to the kitchen and came back with a handful of salt. The teacher said, "Put this salt in a glass of water and drink it." The young man followed the teacher's words and took a sip. His face changed at once. It tasted bitter and sharp. The teacher asked, "How did it taste?" The young man said, "Very bitter." The teacher smiled and asked him to come with him to the lake. They walked in silence, the young man still confused. When they reached the lake, the teacher asked him to throw the same salt in it. The young man dropped the salt into the calm, clear water. Then the teacher said, "Now take a sip from the lake." The young man bent down, took a sip, and nodded with a smile. The teacher asked, "Does it taste bitter now?" The young man said, "No, it tastes fresh and cool." The teacher looked into his eyes and spoke gently. "The pain of life is like salt," he said. "It will always be there, in everyone's journey. But how bitter it tastes depends on the container we hold it in. If you hold pain in a small heart, it will taste very bitter. But if your heart is big like a lake, the bitterness will disappear." The teacher continued, "Do not be a glass. Be a lake. Learn to grow your heart, so pain becomes less powerful. Let love, kindness, and forgiveness fill your heart and make it bigger. Do not let small pain control your whole life." The young man stood quietly, thinking deeply about the lesson. He realized he had been holding bitterness in a small cup. And it was time to expand his heart and change how he sees pain. The teacher placed a hand on his shoulder and smiled. He said, "Life will bring salt. You cannot stop it. But you can choose whether to be a glass or a lake." The young man thanked his teacher with respect and gratitude. He walked away with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. He knew from now on, he would never let bitterness rule him. In the days that followed, he faced the same people and troubles. But something was different. He was calmer and more peaceful. He had learned how to turn pain into wisdom, not anger. People noticed his change and began to trust him more. He became a kind and thoughtful man, always ready to help. He shared the story of salt and water with others in pain. Many people were touched by his words and grew stronger. They too learned to stop holding pain in a glass. Together, they built a village of people with lake-sized hearts. Even when pain visited, it never stayed for long. Because the lake of their hearts made bitterness dissolve. And joy, love, and peace became their daily strength. One evening, the young man sat by the lake in silence. He watched the water gently move and smiled to himself. He whispered, "Thank you, Master, for teaching me how to live." The wind carried his words across the water like a song. And the moon above seemed to nod in gentle approval. His heart, once small and bitter, was now deep and kind. So remember this simple truth: when life becomes hard, Bitterness is not in the pain, but in how we carry it. You can either drink from the glass, or seep from the lake. Choose to be a lake. Let the pain lose its power. Let kindness flow and wash away the salt of hurt. That is how you grow, heal, and become truly strong. Thank you for joining this shadowing practice. You are doing a great job learning English. Keep it up and practice every day to improve even faster. Come back tomorrow for another short story and more speaking practice. Shadowing means listening and speaking at the same time. It helps you speak clearly and confidently. Use your voice and follow the speaker closely. You will sound more fluent in no time. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more fun stories and daily practice.